Hey, okay. So a lot of questions is what do I like the most? And I like 28 millimeter. I grew up with the AFX 172nd to 176 scale, if you want to call it that, HO. And that's what I grew up with the SE and the AFX. So this is, as a kid, this is what I was painting, this is what I was doing. And it was only until later that I ended up getting into the 28 millimeter. But I was very heavy into this scale here, and my love for Napoleonics has always been there. It's always been my first love, ever since I read the book Charge, and even prior to that. And then I delved into the 28 millimeter. Now, Leon asked me if I was going to do anything with the Victrix, the Perrys, and the black powder stuff. Well, I already did. And this is 28 millimeter, mix of Perrys, black powder, and Victrix. Perry is a pretty static pose, where Victrix is very complicated. It's little bits and pieces of arms and legs and muskets and all that good stuff. So you can really tell the dynamic poses with Victrix because you've got so much variety that when you're making your model soldiers, you can put them in just about any pose you want, and you can tell that with the Victrix. Where Perry's right here, black powder, are very static, monoposed, marching, that kind of thing. You do have, let's see if I can see some here, because I got a mix of 95th rifles with, I believe they're over in the sand pit running. This guy right here, he comes with the infantry. And here you have black powder and Perry's right here, mixed in with, as you can tell, Victrix right there. So there's some Perry's and black powder there, with some Victrix here. So you can see the dynamic poses with Victrix because you have so many options for how to make it. These are old. These are very old Brits that I got from a friend of mine, Matthew Giorgio, who we went to the police academy together years ago. And he ended up giving me these, and he ended up giving me these right here. These are old 28 millimeter French Grenadiers. And then I've got some Brits right there, KGL or British Line, whichever you want to paint them up as. I've got some metal Nassaus there that come from black powder. And I've got some metal Brunswickers here for the cannon crew. I got some 95ths or some Nassau as well. What else we got going on? So we have 2 battalions of French line mixed with Victrix and Perry black powder. So I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 companies there. There should be, okay, yeah. And I believe the Voltigeurs, it's 6th company. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 companies here for the 1st battalion. And then we've got your Grenadiers here, your Voltigeurs here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 companies there for the 2nd battalion. And then we have 1 company here and 1 company here. So we have 3 companies of Imperial Guard. Now, this Imperial Guard unit is all Victrix. This is a mix. This battalion, this French line battalion, is a mix of Perry and Victrix. And this battalion here, this line battalion, is also another mix of Perry, black powder, and Victrix. the Cariases. I know I'm butchering that. Everyone goes after me for my pronunciation. But my Carias is here. This came from the black powder. I believe I think it's Perry miniature. Let me check. Yeah, here we go. So we're looking at Perry miniatures, the French Napoleonic heavy Calvary 1812 to 1815. And what I've done is, this is the first Dutch Carabiniers, and this is the heavy Cuirassier unit. So that's what we're looking at that. So yes, my first love is Napoleonics. Then it's Warhammer, because I used to game a lot. And then it was the World War II stuff up here. Very historical, that kind of thing. But I really love the sci-fi. I love the historical. But my Napoleonics is probably my first love. And on the workbench, I am trying to finish him up. That was a gift from a while ago. It's coming out okay. I'm taking my time doing it because this is actually my first bust that I've ever done. So that's what it's looking like right now. I got a few touch-ups I have to do and add a little bit more color to the stripes and the standard and do the gold trimming and stuff. Here we have cannons and stuff, steam tank, working on Khan. I'm just trying to get a lot of these things going. I'm actually starting to get motivated to paint again, which is pretty cool. And we'll see what we do. But basically, guys, that is what I'm up to. I'm putting together this orc. And I had a hard time because what I wanted to show you was the paint on here did not come out very well. And the reason why is because even though I thought I bought a flat primer, it had a gloss to it. It was a semi-gloss, which I didn't notice until after I primed everything that I wanted to prime. So now I don't know if you can see that or not. See that right there? The paint's not taken to it. So what I'm trying, and by rights, I really should have just stripped it down and redid it, but I didn't want to. I want to see if I can take a shortcut. So I basically use some wash, and hopefully the wash will put a coat on it that I can paint over, because the problem that you have is that with a gloss or semi-gloss, it's almost like an enamel, so the acrylic is not going to adhere to it very well. So you're going to end up getting stuck with this splotchiness. Now this is a wash, so of course but I mean right here, it's taken better than it did before. Before it just bunched up. Like if you ever see when you wax your car or your motorcycle and it rains, it beads. So you get these little bead marks, and that's exactly what happened on these figs here. So what I ended up doing was I ended up trying to do this wash right here. It's kind of expensive to do, but that Seraphim, and you could do it with any wash, but because it was primed white, I went with the brown. Maybe it'll help, I don't know, we'll see. It's just a trick. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll give it a shot and we'll see what happens. Other than that, I've been trying to get a lot of these figures done, and I've got about good 20 more years to paint, and hopefully I can get all this stuff done before it's time for me to head off to the pearly gates. So now what we'll do is I'll download this video, because basically it was supposed to just be for the Napoleonics, for the questions as to what I like and if I'm ever going to do anything with my Napoleonics. So yes I will. I am doing stuff with my Napoleonics. It's just that I got burnt out on it so badly that I needed to take a long break from it. But there's a lot of cool stuff here. This is the 28mm Hassan black powder set. which is awesome. It runs. It's a good. I got it a long time ago, but it's it runs like $300. This is the single label Alliance house, and of course Umont that we were working on. And I've got my little ladies right here working in the fields, looking at, you know, the officer. So yeah, it's not too bad. I like, oh, and the box opening. I'm sorry, I wanted to do a couple box openings for you before we go away. And basically, these are the black powder Napoleonic or Highlander regiment made out of metal. You get 24 metal pieces, and you get 24 metal grenadiers as well. So you have that there, and you have this here. Now, the thing about the Highlanders is the bayonets, they break off quite frequently, so it's kind of a pain. But the figures are really nice. The detail's really nice. I've always liked the metal figs. If it's a toss-up between metal and plastic, I'd rather do metal. But economically wise, plastic is a lot better. Now with this set, you get 2 groups, and this is a group here, and they come in like that. So, so you get these sets that come in, and I believe they come in. So they'll be like that, and then you have this on top of them. You open the box up, and that's what you get. So you can cut these out, make flags out of them, or you could photocopy it if you have a color printer, or maybe you could just buy them online. But you do have those standards, and then with the Highlanders, you get the same thing here. You know, whether or not you want to cut that up, I don't know. But you do get your banners. And the thing is look at how smashed in they are. So that's why you end up with all these broken bayonets. And here's your Imperial Guard, which are pretty good. I like the detail on them. They're pretty cool. And then your Highlanders. And you get, what, 24 soldiers to each box set. So, and I think I paid about $40 for these guys. Price is right there, $40 for that box. I mean, it's pretty expensive, but, you know, they're lead or metal. So, it's not too bad. And that's it, guys. All right, so we have a little box opening, and we have a little bit of Napoleonics over here. And, yeah, 15 minutes of fame, right? So that's what we got, guys. And of course, you know, I got all my stuff down here. The French Army, Waterloo. I bought 3 sets of Waterloo. You know, so. And I've got all this cavalry. Oh, this is all cavalry back here. You know. So. Got British household cavalry. Just a lot of stuff. French. We got Zulus. Liberty or Death. Rorke's Drift. Imperial Army. Victrix. What are these, Highlanders? Yeah, there's the Highlanders. So, alright, guys. Alright, so, what else are we doing? Oh, yeah. So, I'll end this soon. And then what I'm going to end up doing is I need to start working on these cannons. Get these cannons done. And these Chaos Warriors here. I primed the Necrons, got them done, so we got to do that. Started doing a little bit on Khan the Betrayer, and I forget his name. Nurgle guy, I don't know. Captain Schmucky Face, I don't know. I forget his name. But he's like the commander for the Death Guard that came with the set, which I have no clue what I'm talking about right now, but hey. And this guy, dropped this guy, and he busted into 1,000 pieces because he's made out of resin. So I had to put him back together again. He seems okay. It was tough, but my leader, my warband leader for my orcs, got devastated. And I think there's about working on the steam tank as well. And I think that's it. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah. All right. Hopefully this will work out. We'll see what happens with it. I don't know. See the gloss with this horse? I don't know if you can see that, but I wonder if I can show you if I have enough time, if it beads up. If I got a little bit of, yeah, okay. Let's take this paint right here, okay? We're gonna take this red and blue, right? And what I'm gonna show you now is how it beads up when it's a little bit glossy. So let me put a little, let's get a paintbrush here, all right? And let's do a little bit of red. Now, this is not watered down red, okay? This is straight from the pot, and watch what happens here. Are you gonna make a liar out of me now? Maybe because it was drying and it's so thick. No kidding. By rights, it's supposed to bead up, but apparently it is not going to do that with this. All right. So it's a thick paint, and it's drying out, which maybe that was the answer to my problem, was to let it dry out. But it's very thick. Now I don't want to cheat and thin the paint out. Cause now if we do a little bit of water and we go like